starting, we'll just have the lesson plan. Very good morning. So I think it has been 1 week. So very good morning. Thanks for the wishes. So I think it has been 1 week, isn't it, since we met last? And I believe we had a chance to go through, if not Africa, Africa was quite some time back. At least the second section of European mnemonics, I believe will be easy for you. So I'll just give you today's lesson plan. Like, what are we planning to expect? What are we planning to complete today? And I believe we can reach United States. Just hold on. Let me share content. Okay. So today's lesson plan, we'll start from where we left off. Is it fine? So I think Europe, if you look at the description part, we have finished literally. And story part, we have completed the entire continent. So what we should do right now is complete the description. So first we'll start from here. So first complete the discussion for rest of Europe. So this will be our first thing to remember. Okay. And once this first part is done, then we can progress to the next continent. And as I told you in the previous session, we will start with the story mode for North America. Okay. And I think we can definitely finish Canada. There is no question about it. Like, Canada can be done. Okay. But when it comes to USA, as I told you, USA is a superpower of the world. So I will try to finish USA today. Like, I cannot give you that assurance, but definitely yes, we'll try to finish USA. So this is a simpler lesson plan for today. If I'm able to complete United States, I think many of the discussions which go on in international affairs and which comes as part of current affairs, you should be in a position to connect. We'll primarily look at history of United States and how exactly did USA become the superpower, or when exactly did USA become the superpower? So all those discussions we need to have, and that is the session's lesson plan. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to start with the part where we left off. So first is a complete discussion for the rest of Europe. And once you have finished the countries, we look at the physical map so that we get an idea of important rivers and mountains also. So with that, let me just share content for European map. Just hold on. Let me just go to the Europe map. So there it is. So this was the area which we completed. So just to give you the heads up before we start, because some of you might not be, might not exactly remember. So we were here. So we need to start the description from Austria. Okay, so this is the region which we need to discuss, and then we'll need to move on in this direction. Okay, so this will be the first part for today. So now we'll go back to the whiteboard where we can start looking at the exports of different countries. So if you remember the mnemonics part, I think after Italy, in Italy, you remember the mnemonics, isn't it? We had ostrich in Austria. Then the series of countries were Czech in Czech Republic. Then you had slow walking, because you lose the chess match. So slow walking in Slovakia. And after slow walking in Slovakia, you were extremely hungry in Hungary. Now, if you look at the first four countries, this can be treated as a set. Compared to the other segment of countries which we'll be treating together, these three countries have a similarity. Their major exports is oriented towards the automobile sector, especially cars. Okay, specifically cars. And you take Austria. Austria's major exports are information communication technology and tourism. Okay, so these two are the major exports of these four countries. It's pretty straightforward. And I want you to understand this point. Even though these countries you may not, you may not have heard very much, because people tell you about German companies, Italian companies, you would immediately know. But these three countries, not very prominent, you might think. But understand that India is not the only country in the world. Fine, it's not that they export commodities just to India. They export commodities. Yes, one person came up. I was expecting for that. Skoda, I think you'd have heard. Okay, I don't know, like whether, I don't know how many of you are familiar. So Choda is a Czech company. So not just to India, they export their commodities to South America. So there they export their commodities. They also export their commodities to Africa. Fine. So that could be one of the reasons why you may not be, very familiar with multiple countries. But these three are very good in auto cars. Okay. So one person comments that Skoda has been German for past 10 years. But the point which I wanted to drive is they have not really clear about the ownership of the company. Fine, ownership might have switched to German. The point which I want to drive home is this: like they have an automobile infrastructure. Like even if the company has been taken over by Germany, the infrastructure is there. And the second point you need to remember is that India is not the only importer of commodities. Fine, you have many countries in Africa, many countries in Africa right now, and also in South America. So that is the discussion you need to keep it in mind. So if you're ready, I'll go to the next set of countries, which I will do together. So just let me know. I need to share the map for this, and then I will, then I can, write the content, because this we need to deal as a complete set of countries. Okay. So we just need to deal with a set of countries. So just let me know. I'll just share content for the map. Okay. So there is one response. Okay, multiple responses. Just hold on. Now, see, when I was discussing the map of Europe, I intentionally missed a country. Okay. I'll write the name of country. Just tell me where it is in the map. Okay. It's a simple game. I'll give you 30 seconds. You can just point out the direction. That will be fine for me. Okay. Ready to play the game? Either just tell whichever direction it is. And you got 8 directions. So anywhere. I'll give you the name of the country right now. The name of the country which you need to find out is this: Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia. Northeast. One person has said. Okay. One person has said the center. Okay. Northeast again. Northeast. Okay. Multiple responses in the northeast direction. Okay. I think some people know the answer where it is. I'm getting few correct answers also, but most frequent answer was northeast. 10 more seconds. Let's see whether you can get it right. South Central, deep South. South Central, deep South. I don't know, man. Like, just one recommendation. If you're going to give directions to anyone, please don't use these type of terminologies. South Central, deep South. I think this is the best. It's South. Okay, it's just hold on, hold. Wait, relax. See, first understand there were two correct responses were there. Like they stated that, yeah, I'm getting one more correct response. See, understand Yugoslavia does not exist today. Okay, it's not there in the map. It's a very old country. And two people have said it's there it's in Serbia, Albania, so on and so forth. So you understand Yugoslavia disintegrated into many countries. Okay. And you need to understand this because why are we talking about it? Like in your bilateral relations class, or like it will come up in internal security, they will talk about something called as non-alignment movement. They will, when it comes to foreign policy. So when they talk about non-alignment movement, please don't take the Europe map and search where Yugoslavia is, because Yugoslavia does not exist. Okay, it is broken up into many countries. Now allow me to zoom in one particular section of Europe. Okay, not the south, the central, deep south. Just hold on, let me just get the specific region which I'm expecting, the Balkan region. Yes, there it is. Right, so this is zoomed out version. Okay, zoomed in version. These set of countries, starting from Slovenia, Romania, till the end of Greece, you get this triangle, isn't it? Triangular country, this entire triangle, this one. Okay, this region is called the Balkan Peninsula. They've already written, so I just highlighted for you. Balkan, Balkan, peninsula, Balkan Peninsula. Peninsula, you know, it is any land which is covered by water on three sides. That's a peninsula. And this region is called as Balkan Peninsula. Okay. And Yugoslavia was a country, was past tense, was a country which existed in this Balkan Peninsula. So today, if you ask me, like, if you can call it as a successor, like what country can I call it as a successor of Yugoslavia? Serbia would be the right position. Okay, this country which you find is Serbia, we saw in a map reading a server in Serbia, can be considered as a successor to Yugoslavia. So multiple countries, it broke into at least 6 countries, at least 6. Okay, it depends upon how you consider what your country is. Fine, you get, Bosnia Herzegovina, Serbia, Montenegro. Kosovo is missing from this map. They haven't updated that. So Kosovo. So all those smaller countries are broken up. Okay, and just remember this: in your political science discussions or in your newspaper reading classes, they will introduce a terminology. I want you to understand what the terminology means. The term is called balkanization. Okay. Now, what do you mean by balkanization? Well, simple. Balkanization. Yeah, very good. K-N-I-S-A-T-I-O-N. Balkanization is a process in which a very big country breaks into multiple smaller units. So, bigger country breaks into smaller units. Yeah, similar to disintegration of USSR. Fine. So if one writes an article, for example, they say Pakistan faces the threat of balkanization. It means the Balkan, Pakistan is going to break into 2 or 3 countries. That is a meaning when they use the statement. So if they use the statement in your current affairs discussions or it comes up in newspapers, please make the connection. That is why I wanted to introduce. Okay. Fine. And there is a question on Kosovo. See, regarding Kosovo, see, even though like some countries recognize Kosovo as an independent country, whereas some countries do not recognize Kosovo as an independent country. So this, like independence of this country is still called into question. Some countries accept it as a country and some others don't. Okay, just that is why I intentionally introduced this, because you want to know that there is a problematic area. And, more discussion on this, you'll get in, current affairs part, bilateral. So just know this place. And regarding the status of the country, you'll get further updates because this is a issue which is always going on. Okay. So if you're ready, I'll go to the exports issue. Is it fine? So if you're ready, I'll just share the whiteboard. Wanted to introduce balkanization. Okay, fine. So the multiple responses, hold on. So we need to learn like what exactly is the exports in this region. Well, simple. We are not talking about specific countries. Just remember Balkan Peninsula alone. So Balkan Peninsula. Fine, you had that entire triangle. We're talking about 3 to 4 major exports. First thing, you got tourism, of course. Tourism is present in multiple parts of Europe. You have tourism here also. Okay. Now, second, which I want to properly instill in your mind is apparel industry. The clothing sector, apparel industry. When you talk about apparel, you need to combine both your textile and your leather. For example, let's take shoes, footwear. Okay, so that's apparel is a bigger set which talks about your clothing. That's why I use the word apparel. And after apparel, you have agriculture. And then in some countries, you have information communication technology. Okay, it will, just remember, it will vary slightly between countries. Okay, like it might be different between Serbia and a country like Albania. It will be slightly different. But the point which you need to remember is that this is mostly true. You take the countries in the Balkan Peninsula, they'll be engaged in either of these 1 of 4 industries. Okay, that is the thing you need to keep it in mind. So if you're ready, I will go to the next discussion, and that is this. Okay, you just need to remember something about this country, Greece. And Greece, I just want you to know that currently what is the situation? Well, currently the country is not a major player. It is in severe economic crisis. Okay, it is in severe economic crisis, and you would have learned this in bilateral relations, or you will be learning in bilateral relations. So, at least when the discussion of European Union. Okay. Yes, Greece is in Balkan Peninsula. That's a terminal country, no question at all. So ICT is information and communication technology. Okay, there is a question on that. Information communication technology. Coming back to Greece again, the point is this is important for the historical context. Okay, you take the great philosophers. They come from this Greek peninsula. You can talk about Socrates. You can talk about Plato. You can talk about Aristotle. Fine. And the great emperor whom you all know, Alexander the Third, or Alexander the Great, is from the region. Fine. He was called the Great Macedonian. Fine. So today we have a separate country known as Macedonia, but back then this entire region was Greek, was considered as Greece. Fine. So that is where you get the term Macedonian. And I think you also know this, like this is the place where the Olympics was initiated. Okay, the first place. And this is also the place where you had city-states. Exactly. City-states meaning you would have seen this film 300, I guess, most of you. So 300 is about Spartan soldiers. Sparta. This is Sparta, the dialogue in the film. Sparta, Athens. So all the city-states are in this region. So I just want you to understand that Greeks, the contribution of Greece is mostly historical. Like they've been very important when it comes to philosophical discussions. The idea of what is considered as democracy, what is happiness, you have their philosophical thinking affecting each and every domain. Fine, you take ancient philosophy, especially world ancient philosophy, you can never you can never keep Greeks out of the discussion. Like for example, you look at these people, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. No philosophy book will be without them. Fine, you can take any political science textbook, any philosophy textbook. These three thinkers will be there. Is it clear? So there is a question, sir. What do you mean by city-states? Well, city-states are extremely small, small units. Fine. To make it clear, like it'll be mostly like you have a city and you have a region which is administered by the city. That's so. Okay, so the region will be providing resources to the city. At the same time, the city takes care of the region's protection. Fine, it provides services to the region. So this is a city-state. Understand that a city-state is very small in its size. Okay, very, very small. So that's a city-state, a very small area. So Athens and Sparta, small units, and historically they were significant. See, Vatican City is different, but the reason I say why Vatican City is different is because it is a religious town, like just religious, that's all. Fine, there is no concept of military here. You just go there to pray to God and then come back. Is it clear? You're asking what region? Like region is just an area, that's it. I'm introducing the concept city-state as there was a question. And today, okay, you're asking what is the difference between region and a city. City is something in which people perform secondary and tertiary activities mostly. That is called as a city. Region mostly performs agricultural activities. Okay, that is the difference between a city and a region. You get the idea? Like you, for example, when you say that you are living in Chennai or you're living in Coimbatore, how do you define a city? The city will not be doing agricultural activities. People come there for education, medicine, some other services. You get it? So that's the difference. And remember, all these discussions we are having with reference to ancient Greece only. Today, Greece is a broken country. It's in severe economic crisis. So anyone talks about Greece, just remember, like historically it was significant, but not at the present. So if you're ready, I'll go to the next discussion, and we need to look at one more place if you're ready. So I'll go back to the map. Okay, so just hold on, I got multiple responses. Okay, there is a question on city-state. I'll take up city-state again. Okay, I will come back to city-state. Okay. Yes. So region means it is involved in primary sector. Since the question came up, I'll take it. I'll come back to city-state again. Like if you want the explanation, no problem. So we'll go back to Balkan Peninsula. So this was the region which we did, isn't it? Okay, so now we need to proceed further from Romania and Ukraine. So for that, we are here. Okay, so let me introduce the industries in these countries because it's very simple to remember. See, both Ukraine and Belarus, similarities first. Both of them, the industry, common industries tourism. Common industries tourism, common. Now coming to specifics, you look at the specific things. Ukraine is a major exporter, or at least in the European region, of corn and sunflower. Okay, it's the soil is very good in Ukraine. It's very good for agriculture also. Corn, sunflower, at times wheat also. And coming to Belarus, just understand, apart from tourism, they export refined petroleum oils also. Refined petroleum oils. So they, apart from the oil which they have, they refine it and then they export it, just not just crude oil. So I just told you, since so they try to process, they try to separate all the compounds and then they export it. So these are the major industries in Belarus. And if you're ready, I'd like to share a slide where we can discuss about an important place in Ukraine, which has made news consistently. Okay, yes, multiple responses, just hold on. And I'm not going to discuss it in detail right now. I will discuss it when we come to Russia. Okay, yes. When I come to Russia, I will discuss it. I just know this place alone, that's it. It's called Crimea, and currently Crimea is with Russia. It is not with Ukraine. Just know this. I will explain later when we deal with Russia, because Russia is a very big country and I need time, okay, on the importance and geopolitics. Fine. So if you know this already, I can go ahead. Belarus, I'll write it. There is a request on Belarus. Belarus major export is petroleum oils, which are refined. I export petroleum oils after refining. So if we are ready, we need to look at the concept called as Scandinavian countries. Okay, and in Scandinavian countries, what exactly happened? And why are they very famous? Is it clear? Fine. So multiple responses. Okay, so I'll just go to the whiteboard. Moldova is not a significant country, man. Like Moldova, if you look at the role in international relations, is not that great. That's why I simply skipped Moldova. Even the urbanization rate is very less. It's mostly agricultural country. Fine. So now I need to introduce two concepts. Something called as Nordic countries. Nordic is part of Balkan Peninsula. Okay. I will deal with Crimea again, as I told you, later. Please be patient with reference to Crimea, because only if I finish Russia, I'll get the entire understanding. Else it will be half. So I'd rather deal with Russia. Just know the location of Crimea alone. Currently, Crimea is with Russia. That's all you need to know. Please wait. Now, to explain Nordic countries, there is a group of countries, okay, like called as Nordic. It includes Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Iceland. These 5 countries are known as Nordic nations. Is it clear? Now, coming to the question of Scandinavia, listen, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark are known as Scandinavian countries. Now, immediately you will raise a point, sir, that's not true. You know, I've learned that this is not true. Finland is a Scandinavian country. See, please understand, there are sources online which state that Finland is a Scandinavian country. You might find it. See, understand, this is technically wrong. Finland is not a Scandinavian country. The right word to use is Finland is a Nordic country. In the Nordic country group, you'll have 5 countries, and that is where Finland comes in. Finland is not a Scandinavian country. Okay, what does Scandinavian mean? Please wait. I need the map to explain. Scandinavian means there is a mountain range in those regions, and it is called as Scandinavian mountains. So these countries derive their name because of the mountainous region. Okay, so we'll go back to Scandinavia again. But before that, I want to talk about Nordic countries. See, to appreciate Nordic countries, first, these 5 countries together, like, why are Nordic countries famous, or why do they make news consistently? See, I'll just tell you certain things, okay? For example, in the international level, many organizations release a lot of indexes or indices. They release a lot of reports. Okay, for example, happiness index, just to measure how people are happy or not. Okay, sustainable development index, gender equality index, fine. Maybe you can say peace index. All are good things, isn't it? Fine. You look at the ranking of these countries, the 5 countries in all these indices, they will definitely be in the top 10, 100%. Okay. And 3 to 4, at least 3 countries will be in the top 5. They'll be competing for number 1 position. Fine. That is the reason people always find these countries in news. People will say that, you know what, their education system is very good. They will tell you, you know, here gender equality is very good. Fine. And they have very good sustainable development, so on and so forth. Now, we need to appreciate what makes Nordic countries successful. Okay, we need to understand what makes Nordic countries successful. That is our objective. Fine. So we are going to look at a simple economic model and understand how things are different in Nordic nations. So if you're ready, we look at the economic model, and I just need to flip over. So just let me know so that we can discuss. So there is a question, are Nordic countries part of Balkan Peninsula? No, Balkan Peninsula is in the south. Nordic countries are in the north. Okay, so thanks for the responses. So I'll just flip over. Okay. Now, let's talk about this concept, life expectancy. The meaning is simple. Okay, you're just talking about in an environment, how many years an individual is expected to live. Life expectancy. Okay. Now, to relate to the life expectancy of Nordic countries, we'd rather start with India. You take life expectancy in India, it is between 67 to 69, based on the last data which was taken. It varies between men and women. It varies between men and women. But, you know, women always live longer than men. The reasons are, there are multiple reasons. We'll discuss that in the geography class when we discuss human geography. Fine, but just understand it is between 67 to 69. So if this is the case with India, which has a very poor human development index, okay, so you can understand, okay, there is a point which states that women's life expectancy is less than men. You can check the data for more than 100 countries, man. Women always outlive men. It's true. You can check any country in the world. I'll give you the reasons in human geography. Please be patient. This fact is not wrong. Women always outlive men. Okay. Now coming to this part. So please check your facts and then come for the response. And again, this question is popping up repeatedly. Balkan countries are different. Nordic countries are different. I clearly told you Balkan is in the south of the peninsula. Nordic countries are in the north, the 5 countries. So these questions, messages are popping up repeatedly. So I think I just put a full stop to this. Okay. And let's just go to the discussion. I'll explain the meaning of Nordic later. Please hold on. Okay, let me finish the economics part. So the point which I'm trying to drive home is this: life expectancy for, life expectancy for India, a country like India, which has poor human development index, is going to be 67, 68, 69. Then life expectancy in a very peaceful, a very sustainable, a very happy country will be very, very high. So you look at the life expectancy in these nations, you definitely get 85. Like, it can vary. It can definitely go above 85 in some countries also, but it'll definitely vary. Now, picture this. Okay. So there is an individual. Fine. So from 0 to 21, you can divide his life. Now, why I'm saying 21? Well, it's not that education, or what do you call as studying age in India, the definition is different. But the education system in the Nordic nations are totally different. They consider that a person should be educated at least till the age of 21. That is, you need to finish at least your graduation. In India, it is, between 6 to 14. The new education policy wants to incorporate from the age of 3. But, implementation, we'll see how far it goes. But the point is, if you are learning, you're learning really hard, it's difficult to earn income. So your earnings will be compromised. Okay. Now let's talk about retirement. Now, this is one segment of your life. Okay. Now, when you talk about retirement, it's not similar to India where people retire at the age of 58, 59. Fine. Now, these people are healthy, and due to their lifestyle, they can keep working at least till the age of 65. So let's say that he's there till 65, and after 65, he decides to retire. Okay. So from 65 to 85, again, I'm not going to earn any money. Okay. Now let's talk about the time in between 22 to 64. This is my time where I work. So if I'm going to work, I'm going to earn. Now look at the variation right here. There is going to be, in a person's lifetime, 20 years here, 20 years here. So close to 40 years, the person is not going to earn. Okay, no earnings at all. Now, this is where a new type of policy comes in. See, few years back, I think it was in 2012 or 2013, people in Stockholm is the capital of Sweden, they were protesting. Now, why were they protesting? Well, they were protesting and they were asking the governments to increase the taxes. I've not, now some of you might be wondering, like, has he drawn the wrong arrow mark? No, I have not drawn the wrong arrow mark. They really wanted the government to increase the taxes. Okay, now how does the system work? Fine. See, understand the taxation system which is present in Nordic countries is very high. Like, people might tax you to 35% in some countries, or some services, taxation rates might go as far as 40%. So let's say you're earning 10,000. So you're earning 10,000, 4,000 rupees or something you need to simply give to the government. Okay, 4,000, like, let's say you exceed an income ceiling. 4,000 you simply need to pay to the government. So only 6,000 you'll be retaining with yourself. Okay. Now you ask the question, why would people do that? Okay. Why do people ask the government to increase their taxes, even though it is not good? Because I'm not going to have any money, not much of money to spend. Well, the system works like this. Okay. They have a combination of a capitalist system brilliantly integrated with a socialist system living in a democracy. Okay, it's a democratic form of government where they integrated two economic models. Now, what does these countries do? Well, very simple. Okay, what they do is this. Let's say you are the government. Fine. Check the government. Government will provide social security services for the remaining part of your life. Fine. You take education system. Let's say I'm very poor. I cannot afford education. Government will provide you services. No problem. We will provide you education. There is no problem. And you go to the government and say, see, I worked really hard and I've retired. I have nowhere else to go. Government says, no problem. We'll give you a pension. Is it clear? Now let's talk about the money flow here. So if government is going to provide social security services, and see, this is good, high quality social security services and very good pension schemes, then government will provide you education. Government will provide you healthcare. Government will provide you education. Government will provide you healthcare. Government will provide you So that was a very bad connection interruption. These are things which we really can't help. It's an online session. So just continue from, the bad thing about the connection interruption, I was really going to finish that concept. And if I'd finished that, I need not repeat it again, but I just need to redraw it. Just hold on. Okay. Just hold on. Really got unlucky there. Yeah. So we were talking about Nordic countries and their economic policy. So very brief overview. I'll just get to the point where we were. So I was saying that there is a part in your life where you get educated between 0 to 21. And there is a part where you get retired post the age of 65, live till 85. And here you don't have any earnings. And here you don't have any earnings. Okay. So you have the government and you had the age in between 22 to 64. And I was right here. I was just telling you, you don't have any earnings, no problem. You're really struggling. You're poor, there is no problem. Government will provide you services. Like we are there to help you out. We'll provide you services. At the same time, you're retired, government will provide you pension. There is no problem. Now to get to the point, okay, see, for providing social security services, either education or pension, government needs money. And where does all the money come from? Well, the money comes from the people who work. Okay, so from the working population, listen, like this is where we left off. I just told you there are high taxes, isn't it? Now, all the taxes which they collect from the people, that is what is used for sourcing the money in this direction. Okay, so that is how the system works. Is it clear? Now, I want you to understand, like, why do people support the system? So why is there support? Now, why can't people say, your taxation rate is very high, reduce taxes? Simple. See, if people say, if or people ask the government to reduce taxes, they will be in trouble after retirement. Is it clear? For example, if you don't have any savings, fine, you will be in trouble because if you pay taxes right now for 40 years, you know that government will take care of you. Okay. Post retirement. At the same time, government will also take care of your children if anything untoward happens. Fine. That is before your earning age. So you see the flow in the system, I guess, the red arrow which pulls in money to the government. At the same time, money is pulled to the other factors also. So this is the money flow in this region. That is why people have very good human development. Okay, now why there is very good human development? Well, principally because the education system is very good. Fine, because it's financed by the government, is properly maintained. And why are people happy? Well, don't worry, you got retirement money. Government takes care of you. You have health issues, no problem at all. Government will take care of you. We provide you insurance, we provide you pension, government takes care of services. That is why people are peaceful. The country is heavily developed. At the same time, people are happy. And this is the major reason for the success of Nordic nations, which is a democratic country which combines both the capitalism and socialism. Okay, there's a question which says, just hold on. I think this answers your question. You're asking what about corruption? Very, very low corruption. Very low corruption. Look at corruption rates, possibly the lowest in the world. Even in that index, they're very good. Okay, what is the issue with India adopting the system? I think the answer is given here itself. See, for example, I ask you two questions and you'll immediately answer, like simple. Do we have free education in India? Answer will be yes. Okay. Do we have a public distribution system where we provide food to the poor? Answer will be yes. And you ask this question, do we have pension schemes in India? Yes, answer will be yes. See, the point is, you take pension system, you take education system, you take PDS, in India also the answer will be yes. But the problem is, it is not done properly. Okay, you need to do it properly. Okay, like government education system should be better than private education systems. Is it clear? The food which is given in public distribution system should be better than what is given in markets. The pension system should cover the entire population. That is a proper system. So in India, do we have this model? Well, we have the model on paper. And even if it goes to implementation, it is not done properly. That is the point you need to understand. Okay, so we kind of have this model in India, but it's really not implemented. What is the difference between communism and socialism? I will discuss that in detail when we come to China, because China will again spend some time. High population is an issue. No, high population is not an issue here. Like you will understand when you learn more, like in human geography, you will see population is not a major problem. Okay. The population density is pretty low compared to Western European nations. This model has a problem, but I'll come to the problem when we come to China again, because I need to draw parallels with reference to Chinese economic model. So at that time I'll come back. Just understand that the model is very successful in eliminating most of the problems. There is a problem in this model. Okay, I will tell you later. Please be patient. Okay, is it true for each and every individual in Nordic country? Yeah, it is. Government services cover most of the individuals in Nordic countries. Fine, but we have a problem. I'll tell you, we do have a problem in this model, but I will address the problem later, not right now. Okay, so if you're ready, just tell me. I'll just flip over to the next part. See, if you've understood, it's completely okay. Your other questions will get sorted out. See, there is a question on UBI, there is a question on socialism. Please wait for things like universal basic income and socialism. I will tell you there is a problem with this model. UBI cannot be implemented. UBI is having so many issues. So please be patient for that. Things will work out when we go to China, because I need to discuss about US, I need to discuss about China. Only then you'll get the idea about different economic models. Okay. So thanks for the responses. Okay. No, you have a private sector also. I told you it's a normal country, it's a normal democratic country, and this is the capitalist stage. This is the capitalist stage. Only thing is you start your own company, pay high taxes to the government. That's it. So that's the last question for this. So now I'd like to proceed with exports in these regions. Okay, and then we'll go to the next country. Just hold on. Let me go to the next part. Fine. See, these countries, I know that we have crossed it without talking about them, but just hold on, just don't write it. These countries, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. See, these countries are not very important players. Not important players in. Is there any tax exemption? Like, okay, there is a question on tax exemptions in India. You have many tax exemptions in India. You pay taxes only if you exceed a certain ceiling. Not many people pay tax in India. See, again, the taxation system is having multiple things like progressive tax. You have multiple layers. Is that clear? The purpose of the discussion was to make you understand this model. Okay, questions on comparison with, I'll make it clear, questions on comparison with India, comparison with United States, comparison with China will work out only when I teach you USA, only when I teach you China. So for this, take it up right now. I will come to those countries later. Okay, I just don't want to keep repeating the point. It holds on to the class also. Is that clear? So you've understood this model. You have other questions, please reserve your questions. All those will be taken up later. See, only when I go to multiple countries, I can deal with them. Okay. Universal basic income is a complete, I need at least 20 minutes to talk on UBI. So, and some of you may not be even familiar with what exactly is UBI. So please pose your questions. Please pose your questions, which is relevant to the topic under discussion. That will same time for both, for all of us. That is the reason, because it kind of, takes back to multiple areas and it's not really related. At times it is beyond the scope of UPSC also. So please be patient. That's the only thing I ask you. Okay. Now coming to the countries, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. The point which I wanted to drive home is they're not very important players when it comes to economics. And Sweden and Finland, I just wanted to drive this home. Like, their economic chart is pretty complex. Complex meaning they deal with multiple commodities. Okay. Many commodities will be there. They'll be there in engineering. They'll be there in textiles. They'll be there in pharma. So they are present in multiple industries. The point which you need to understand is like they are not present as a one single commodity. You can't pinpoint either Sweden, or I can't pinpoint Finland and then say that this is the exact commodity which they export. Fine, because they are involved in many industries, and if they are major players, like major player meaning in world share, if they have at least 5%, I can tell you like this commodity comes from Sweden or Finland. But as I've told you, Sweden and Finland, they're not major players as such. They don't have a large volume of exports in the world. At the same time, they are also present in multiple regions. That is why I'm not specifying a single commodity for Sweden and Finland. Okay. But now when it comes to Norway, I can talk about two specific things. Number one is fishing. Like they are a great fishing nation. And second is oil. Net exporters of oil. Is it clear? Net exporters of oil. And I think this is the first country which I'm saying very confidently that this is a net exporter of oil. When we discussed Africa, we saw many countries which were major exporters of oil. Now we're going to come back again. In Europe, this is one country which I'm saying net exporters of oil. Okay, so Norway is different in that sense. When it comes to Denmark, it's both refined and crude oil, both refined and crude, both of them. Okay, not just one. Dairy industry, milk and milk products. Fine, butter, cheese, milk, everything. Milk and milk products, dairy industry. Fine, so if you're ready, I'll go to the next country, United Kingdom. And for that, I'll need to share the map. Okay, so just hold on. So multiple responses. Thank you again. Let me just share content. Okay, will everybody be given same pension? It depends upon the policy also. Okay, see, for example, I might be having a pension in a private institution, and I might be having a pension from government institutions also. So if I avail different services, I will get pension from different areas. So this is the place which is for our discussion right now. See, first thing I want to clarify is the differences between all these terminologies. Some of you might know, like the difference between Great Britain, United Kingdom, and England. Okay. Please hold on for Scandinavia. I haven't even finished. Please wait. Europe, we still have a lot more to do. I'll need to finish United Kingdom. Then I'll need to go to Iceland. After finishing Iceland, I need to look at the physiography of Europe. At that time, you'll get the idea on Scandinavia. People, interest is fine, but you need to be patient. Okay. Hold on. See, first, when United Kingdom is the largest entity. Okay. This is the biggest one. And when it comes to United Kingdom, remember the simple mnemonic. Okay. Simple. North, south, west, east. Each of them stand for 4 different things. Many were texting, So first, the border is already here. I'll just shade it for you. Okay. This region is Wales. See right there. Wales. Might not be visible. Is it clear? So W for Wales. Right? So what does S stand for? Well, S stands for this region. Scotland. You get it? This one. Scotland. Scots. Fine. And the region which you find right here, right there, I think it's visible. No, they're written right here. This is called as England. Okay. So England, and this is Northern Ireland, N. So UK is composed of 4 components. So what are the 4 components? N for Northern Ireland, W for Wales, S for Scotland in the north, and E for England. So when people talk about UK, always remember they're talking about all the 4 regions together. Okay. They formed a union which is known as United Kingdom. And this was formed long back. So when people always refer to the word UK, just understand you're talking about 4 components. So if they want to talk only about England, they will mention England alone. They will mention Scotland alone. You might find a news article saying, in Scottish region of United Kingdom, there has been some riots, or Scotland wants independence. Okay, they don't want to remain or they would want to break away from United Kingdom. This was a major issue 5 years back, not right now. You look at 2015, 2016, Scotland said, we don't want to be part of United Kingdom. They said that, England is not treating us well. We're not really, really receiving a lot of respect. We want to break away. But of course, Scotland was not, there was an election which was conducted, and 55% of the Scots stated that we want to remain in United Kingdom. We don't want to leave England, or we don't want to leave the alliance. Is that clear? So when they talk about UK is 4 components. When they talk about England, they're talking about only one of the 4 components. Now, what do you mean when they say the word Great Britain? When they use the word Great Britain, anyone? What is Great Britain then? Great Britain. I told you what is UK. I told you what is England. What is Great Britain? Not difficult at all. Including colonies, which means is India part of Great Britain, man? Great Britain minus England. No. No. Okay, now we are getting it. Very good. See, this island alone is Great Britain. Thanks for your response. This island, the single island is there, right? This one. This island is called as Great Britain. That's all. This one island. Okay, so please don't make errors when they ask. And see, prelims questions, you might make kind of these simple errors. Okay, they will ask you, like, the question might be on United Kingdom. Question might be separately on England. Question might be on Great Britain. So when they ask you, please don't make mistake. Great Britain is United Kingdom minus Northern Ireland. You take Northern Ireland out. Okay. So it talks about only 3 components. So this is the naming differences. So if you're ready, I'll go to the slide where we discuss the exports part. So United Kingdom is different. England is different. And Great Britain is different. So thanks for the responses. Okay, so I'll just go to the whiteboard section. I'll repeat again, last time. Great Britain is a combination of 4 different components. It includes England, Wales, E for England, W for Wales, S for Scotland, and N for Northern Ireland. All 4 combined together is Great Britain. When they use the word England, they are only referring to the southern central section. This is England. Okay. You're asking what is... Okay. Pardon me. I made a mistake because I had written that in this order. Thanks for that. Thanks for it. So when they use the word United Kingdom, pardon me for the mistake. When they use the word United Kingdom, you're talking about 4 components, as I told you, N, S, W, E. Northern Ireland, Wales, England, and Scotland. When they talk about England, they are only talking about the central southern section. Okay, this is the only portion known as England. And when they mention the word Great Britain, you're talking about a single island. This one single island, which does not include Northern Ireland. Is it okay? See, Scotland is a separate region. They'll have their own assembly. Is it clear? Fine. All four of them decided that they wanted to form United Kingdom. That's why it was formed. You're asking control. UK has a common parliament. Okay, I think I've answered the question. United Kingdom has a common legislative assembly where people from all the four regions will be part of it. Is it okay? So that ends the discussion on here. I'll just go to the whiteboard. I still don't know what's the problem. And again, there is a question saying that UK is not clear. I even given the mnemonics. I still don't know. Okay. UK is 4 components. I just told you 4 countries. Like, okay, if there is a doubt, you can just send me an email later because I think I've spent enough time on that. Now, coming to the exports. Now, major export for United Kingdom, all 4 together, services sector. Importantly, finance and tourism. Finance and tourism. Okay. Finance and tourism. There are multiple questions relating United Kingdom and European Union. People understand the United Kingdom was formed in the 18th century. This is very, very old. Okay, they've been having this alliance because the alliance was beneficial to all of them. The Irish, the English, the Welsh, the Scots, all 4 of them decided if we stay together, we can become very dominant. Since it was beneficial, they started this alliance known as United Kingdom. They've remained like this since the 18th century. It is not a new alliance. Okay. European Union is a new alliance. This is very, very recent, formed after World War II. Please don't compare European Union with United Kingdom. This is much, much older and much, much historical than EU. EU is nothing compared to United Kingdom's history. Okay. Its size is bigger, but its size is bigger, but historically UK is much more older compared to United Kingdom. Fine. How does Britain influence all those countries? How does Britain influence even today? Well, because Britain had the largest number of colonies. Just hold on. We share whiteboard. Just hold on. Yeah. So I think that ends the discussion here. So the point which I'm trying to mention was UK's major export was services, which was primarily dealing with finance and tourism. Is Great Britain and Britain same? Yes. Okay. Great. They add, they are great people. That's it. Britain and Great Britain are same. Coming to Ireland, we saw one more country, isn't it? Ireland. Okay. So Ireland is dealing with the pharmaceuticals. That's their major export, medicines. Pharmaceutical exports. And coming to next country, Iceland. Okay. Iceland, it's fishing and again, tourism. Fishing and tourism. Is that clear? Fine. So let me deal with the other questions. Hold on. Why Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland are different countries? Historical reasons. Like England tried to grab that area and it was forcibly removed. That's it. Why is an entire island in UK? Because Britain went and colonized this area, people. So this was the island. So the people from Great Britain went and colonized this area. They cut open Ireland and took it as part of their country. Okay. I'll just let you know, there was a very important revolutionary movement. Now, Irish Revolutionary Army. Okay. So revolutionary movement and they wanted to integrate entire Ireland. Fine. But this movement never succeeded. Fine. So the people captured this area and since captured, they've always remained together. Is it clear? So that ends the discussion here. Fine. Currency is same. Fine. They use the pounds. There is no problem. Yes, home rule movement you will be learning in modern Indian history. I'd rather not talk about it because Saranamurthy sir would deal that in detail. So if you're ready, now I'll need to go to the physiography. I'll be in a better position to answer your questions. So let me just go to physiography. Now we'll get like, some was asking Brexit. Brexit is entire UK, which is coming out of it. Okay, there's one response. Now I'll deal with your question like Scandinavia, Balkans, everything. Okay, multiple responses. Fine, thank you. Let me just go there. Why European countries, tourism is an important sector? Because they maintain their countries clean. Simple. Fine, you know why people don't come, don't really make a second visit to India? Because our cleanliness is very bad. European countries are very clean, they are pleasant, and they are more welcoming to tourists. That is the reason, man. Simple. Just hold on. Just hold on. Share content. Finally, the physical map. Okay. See, understand. First, let me deal with the question which all of you have been asking me. Okay. Scandinavia. It is called like that because of Scandinavian mountains. That's it. I think the map makes it very clear. That is where I was asking you to be patient. Fine. You look at Finland right here. Finland is not part of Scandinavia. Okay. You have these remnants of the mountains in parts of some, historically they are connected physiographically. That's why Norway, okay, Sweden, and Denmark. Denmark is here, no? Denmark. Den, remember our mnemonics. So these three are called as Scandinavian countries because Scandinavian mountains is present in these countries. Finland is here. That is why I told you Finland is not part of it. Okay. And all the 5 countries, no, these five are called as Nordic countries because historically they were connected through Vikings. Now, again, you will ask me who's Vikings? I have only one answer. Wait, please be patient. Wait, hold on. I cannot explain Vikings right now. I can explain Vikings only if I go to North America. Please be patient. Like, you give me time, I'll go to multiple photographs and then I'll tell you. So now this difference is clear. Scandinavia. Okay, Scandinavia and Nordic. So Scandinavia is a physiographic division. Denmark, Norway, Sweden. Nordic is a historic relationship where it connects all the 5 countries together. So if you're ready, you let me know. Then I'll proceed to the very important part when it comes to the mountains of, mountains of this region. Okay. So shall I take this off, the area where I've shaded? I think I've copied. Okay, multiple responses. Just take this off. So I think the Scandinavia versus Nordic is clear now. Why something is called as Scandinavia, why something is Nordic. See, when we talk about the physiography of England, always keep this in mind. The southern part of Europe is highly mountainous. Mountains are very prominent. Okay. And I want you to understand the names and I want you to memorize those. You need to know the names of some mountainous regions and some seas also. So listen, I'm going to give you the mnemonic. Very simple. Don't forget this. Okay. So remember this word. Take a cab. Simple. What is it? Take a cab. And inside the cab, have your PC. Clear? Take a cab. And inside the cab, just place your PC. And one person has said, I hope he has Google searched, Denmark does not have mountains according to the maps. Kindly understand, they share the same geology, rock structure. It's not about mountains, people. That's why I told you they are related. Look at the mountains extension. They are related. That's why it's called as Scandinavia. Okay. Now, please, listen. When I start the next discussion, please come to that. You can refer later. Really don't know what's holding back with all those parts. I was discussing about the mnemonics here. Okay. Cab, and inside the cab, you keep the PC. These are the major mountains you need to remember. And I'll start with this. One mountain range is not in the map. And that is here. This region. Cantabrian. C. Next is Pyrenees. P. C is done, P is done. Next is Alps. A. Next is C, known for Carpathians. And last is B, Balkans. I think this answers your question. Why I call this region as Balkan Peninsula. Now do you understand? Scandinavian mountains is here. That is why it is called as Scandinavia. Balkans is here, and that is why it is called as Balkan region. And that is why I was asking you to be patient. Okay. At times you might immediately, I get the enthusiasm. You immediately want to get your answer right. But only if you're patient, I can speak and then get to the point. So if the class is over and then you still have questions, you might worry. So Balkans are here and Scandinavia is here. Simple. Okay. I'll repeat the mnemonic again. Take your cab or book a cab in Europe, CAB. And inside the cab, keep your personal computer. Travel with your PC. That's it. Cab and PC. Now, if you're ready, I'll tell their significance. You just need to know these mountains. Once the mountains are ready, you need to know the significance. Just let me know. So multiple responses, right? See, if you look at this region, it is continuously mountainous. See, like it's quite extensive, starting from Spain to Italy, then Italy to parts of Hungary, and then to regions. And as I told you at the start, whenever there is a mountain range, it is difficult for armies to move from one part, cross over to the other part, fight and then win. Because once you cross the mountain range, rainfall, food, terrain, everything will be difficult between one side of the mountain and other side of the mountain. So invading armies always find it difficult to cross between mountain ranges and attack this region. Now, why are we talking about invasion here? I will tell you, you have to be patient. When I deal with the country, Turkey, I will deal with this. Okay, I'll finish this point and give you a break. Hold on. Here, there used to be an empire called as Ottoman Empire. Okay. An Ottoman Empire, at the height of its power, controlled many regions in North Africa. And before the Ottoman Empire, you had influences in this region. Now, the point I'm actually talking about is, you can consider, I'll write it down, you can consider these mountain ranges as a politico cultural barrier. Is that clear? Fine. Because Ottoman Turks followed the religion of Islam. And in Europe, the religion was predominantly Christianity. So if you look at the influence of Islam, when Ottomans spread their power across this European region, not just Islam, the culture from West Asia, the culture from the Arabic world, food, everything began to, influence this area. So if you look at Southern Europe, the culture in Southern Europe, the food, you can look at the food, you can look at the clothes which they wear, will be different compared to northern parts. Okay, because the influence is very, very less. As I told you, it is difficult to cross the mountains and invade the area. So these areas were heavily influenced by the Ottoman region, by the Arabs. And that is why southern region is culturally, culture is the most important word, culturally different from the northern region of the mountains. So that is the point I wanted to drive home. Okay, so if you understood that, you take a break for 5 minutes, not more than that, because we already had a connection interruption. So 5 minutes, it's not over. Okay, oh, you want me to tell again? Okay, seats. Okay, fine. I'll just paint it this way. For example, we are speaking in English. Why? I just asked you a question. We are speaking in English. Why? Those who ask me, tell again. For those people, you ask me to repeat. Let's just ask this. Because Britain invaded us. Okay, very good. Language barrier. Not language barrier, man. British invaded us. Okay. We will be speaking in French. France invaded us. That's it. Let's say Napoleon Bonaparte invaded us. Indians will be speaking in French. That is the reason. Okay. Uh, let's talk about chili. Okay. Why are we using chili in our food? Chili. Why are we using chili in our food? Don't tell me it is very spicy. I will kill you. If you use the word spicy, I'll definitely come there and kill you. Good answer. See, understand, chili was brought to India by Portuguese people. Okay. Traditionally, Indians use pepper. You go to Kerala, Tamil Nadu. Okay, pepper was the most important commodity. It's not completely lost, but pepper got replaced by chili because Portuguese introduced. Okay, just keep this in mind. See, understand. Now we'll come to the topic which is under discussion. See, understand. See, you take the region which is south of the mountains. Okay, the region which is north of it did not come under the influence of Ottoman Turks. Is it clear? Because it's difficult to move across the mountainous regions. But south of the mountains, you take the southern region came under the influence of the Arabs. It came under the influence of the Ottomans. So southern culture is different from northern culture. Now do you understand why the mountains are important? Because mountains was the barrier. Now please let me know if the idea is clear. Okay. Since the barrier was there, north and south are culturally different. Okay, I got one response. Okay, thank you for the responses. So, okay, now I'll give you the break. Okay, now 5 minutes break, 300 seconds. So we have not still finished. We need to look at rivers in Europe. Just hold on. We'll come back after 5 minutes and continue with the rivers. So just to continue from where we left off, I'll come back to the Nordic countries. I did see your question. I told you, isn't it? You need to come back. I told you it's Vikings. Wait. Okay. Please wait. So far you've seen certain rivers alone. Okay. So I'll just highlight the rivers which you've seen already. We saw Po in Italy. We saw Rhine. We saw Loire. Now we did see Elbe also. Okay. I think Elbe kind of connects here. They have not finished the river. Now, these are rivers which we've already seen. I want you to understand there are three more important rivers. The first thing I'll highlight in red. Okay. Now, the black ones, it's something which you've already seen. The other rivers, this river, Danube, right? It's a very long river. You can clearly see how many countries it passes through. Ends in Black Sea. Okay. Danube passes through more than, at least it passes through 10 countries. 10 countries. And no country has a water solving issue, water problem. That is to the peace which is practiced in European nations. Second river, which is in Eastern Europe, in Ukraine, is this Don. D-O-N. Don. Okay, third is Dnieper, this one. Dnieper. I think Dnieper you can see D-N-I-E-P-E-R. So the red color ones are new rivers which I'm introducing. And these are the rivers which are important. Like these are black color ones in Western Europe alone, and the red color ones in both Western and Eastern Europe. So if you're ready, we look at the names of important seas which you need to remember in order. Okay, just let me know. Simple mnemonic is there for that. Okay, important rivers. Okay, multiple responses. Okay, fine. I'll just proceed with that. See, picture this. You are meditating. Fine, you're meditating. Meditate. And you put advertisement for yourself. See, very few people do that. What they do is they will meditate. And apart from meditating, they will advertise. See, I am meditating. Okay. So meditate is the keyword for the first C. Mediterranean Sea. This is the biggest one. See, Mediterranean. Meditate in Mediterranean Sea. Okay. And we saw this ad thing, isn't it? That is your giving advertisement that you're meditating. Ad is the keyword for this one. Look here. Adriatic Sea. A-D-R-I-A-T-I-C. Advertisement, keyword for Adriatic. A-D-R-I-A-T-I-C. Fine. So coming to the third mnemonic word. If you meditate, you become strong like iron. You become very strong, right? So iron was the keyword. For the next one, Ionian Sea. For the next one, Ionian Sea. You meditate for so many ages. Ages and ages. You're meditating for so many years. Ages, keyword for the next one. Aegean Sea. And last one, simply sitting in one position. Okay, for so many years, dust will come. Dust will come and deposit all over you. Once dust deposits all over you, instead of red, you'll become black, isn't it? So black is the keyword for Black Sea, because dust deposits on you since you're sitting in the same place. So this is the order. I'll repeat once again. Mnemonic keywords for the seas in Southern Europe. You're meditating for a very long time, Mediterranean Sea. For your meditation, you're putting your own advertisements, Adriatic Sea. Due to meditation, you become strong like iron, Ionian Sea. You meditate for ages and ages, so many years. And that is for Aegean Sea. And finally, since you're sitting in the same place for a long time, you are collecting large amount of dust. And that is making you black. and that is Black Sea. Is it clear? So you meditate, Mediterranean Sea. You put advertisement for meditation, Adriatic Sea. Due to meditation, you become very strong like iron, Ionian Sea. You meditate for many years, ages, Aegean Sea. And since you're in the same place, due to dust deposition, you become black. Black was a keyword for Black Sea. Is it clear? So we saw three rivers right now: Danube, Dnieper, and Don. Three rivers in Eastern Europe and 5 seas in Southern Europe. If you're ready, let me know. I'll proceed. I need to introduce 2 more seas. Okay. So one response, yes, multiple responses. They will also mention this in your news articles. Okay, they will say this word: Baltic Sea and North Sea. When I was dealing with Norway, Norway, people were saying, sir, they collect oil from offshore. Yes, that is true. So Norway has good oil in Norwegian Sea, North Sea. That is where the oil comes from. Norway, so simply they have the name there, Norwegian Sea. Very simple to remember. This is called the Baltic region. Baltic, Baltic, North Sea, Norwegian Sea. Baltic Sea, North Sea, Norwegian Sea. So just remember coming out, L-shaped. Baltic Sea, North Sea, Norwegian Sea. So that completes physiography of Europe. Okay. So if you're ready, we'll just proceed to the next continent. And for the next continent, of course, we'll be going on to the mnemonics again. San Marino is not important. See, San Marino is important for trivia. Like if you want to know something interesting about the country, for example, San Marino, Vatican City, Malta, all of them. But apart from that, political and economic significance is not really great in those nations. Any mnemonics for North and Norwegian? See, Norwegian, you can't forget. Norway is there, so automatically Norwegian will be there. Is it clear? So Baltic, you just remember, Baltic, you come north, move towards Norwegian. So once you know Norwegian, others you can easily remember. Elimination process, that's it. So let me know. I will share the next continent where we need to travel. Now, more than 80 countries, more. Okay. Poland is more important historically. Right now, it is not. In economics, it's not really great. Okay. We'll come back to Poland, but in a different context, not with reference to economics, but in terms of crime and internal security. Now, I'm going back to next map. Okay. Yes, Iceland was a place where we finished with the mnemonics part. This is it. Yes, a North American continent. And you can see, it's not that you have so many countries here. Primarily, you have 3 nations, but we won't be dealing only with countries. We'll need to deal with selective places also. So I don't know whether we can completely finish United States, but let me at least get the mnemonics right first. See, first I want you to focus on this point, okay? I want to start with mnemonics, but first I want you to, focus here, right here, northeastern side of the map. You see what it is? Is Ural Mountains part of Europe? Yes. Simple answer is yes. Please wait for Russia. Please wait for Russia. Okay. Ice in Iceland. Ice in Iceland. That is where we stop. I just want you to focus here because our story will continue from here. That's why. So shall we start a mnemonic story? So I think you will remember that you were trapped here and King was very angry with you. He put you there in Iceland. You're in a prison. Okay, now going on to the story again. Fine. So you're trapped in jail, isn't it? In jail, trapped in Iceland. Now, somehow you beat the people there. You're hero, right? Hero, you will definitely know many techniques. So you cheat the people and then somehow escape. Okay. After escaping, you wanted to really move away from all this problem. And there is a saying, not just in Tamil, not just in English, everywhere. You stand here, okay, and look here. There is one saying. What they say is, grass is greener on the other side. What do they say? Grass is greener on the other side. I think you'd have guessed the country immediately. Green was the mnemonic keyword. Green in Greenland. This very big island which you find here. Green in Greenland. Okay, so what do? You swim. So you jump from here, start swimming, and then finally you reach this area. Okay. Now, what you expect is totally different. Reality is totally different. Fine. You are moving from one location to another. You expected the land to be green, isn't it? That is your expectation. Is it fine? But once you move to Greenland, you feel that the land is actually not green, but compared to Iceland, it is even more covered with ice. You get it? So the point is this: you moved here, but even more, it is covered with ice. Mnemonic word coming up. See, usually, this word is quite difficult. Not many of you might be normally using it in your day-to-day conversations, but still, isn't? See, when we have this internet memes, right? So we have something called as expectation, and after expectation, reality. Is it fine? So you expected green grass to be there. Instead of green grass, there is ice. So we normally get confused, isn't it? Expectation is different from reality. Rather than confused, there is a better word. Like you're really surprised, you don't know what to do. Keyword, mnemonic coming up, baffled. What is the word? Baffled. Okay, you're confused. Your expectation and reality does not match. If you look closely, that's the place. Baffin Island. This island. Baffin. Is that clear? See, you want what do you call the right Tamil word for baffle? The right Tamil word is messel. Actually, the director did not even translate it properly in the film. Messel means you're baffled. That's the proper meaning of the word baffle. So I think I've given a proper synonym, and it'll be easy for you to remember. Okay. Fine. Okay. You want me to zoom in? Hold on. Let me just zoom in. There it is. Yeah. Is it fine? Baffin Island. Right there. Okay, I think now it should be clear. Right. So Greenland, Baffin Island. Okay, you're really baffled. Right there. Baffin Island. Baffled, confused, baffled. Now you decided, okay, if I simply stay here, I'm definitely not going to find any way to find X at all. I need to ask help. So now we need to ask help. Whom do you ask help? Well, you asked help from king and you got into trouble. Don't ask king, ask queen. So I think you would have already seen it. Queen was the keyword for the next place. Queen Elizabeth Islands. Okay, these islands, isn't it? These islands together are called as Queen Elizabeth Islands. So you go to the queen and ask, Madam, actually, I am a very, very nice person. I am Tom Cruise. Please don't judge me from what happened in the palace that day. Your daughter was so beautiful, so I had to simply look. Apart from that, I'm a very good person. I work for the wellness of the world. I do very good jumps. I can save the world. A queen says, fine, Tambi. Tambi means a small boy. Okay, fine. I do understand. Okay, queen is there. But one problem thing is, queen, okay, queen. One problem thing is, I am a very old woman, so I really can't help you out. But I can tell you this. Okay. See, I have a son who lives in a beautiful fort. Okay, I'll write it down. Fine. What is it? What does she say? She says, I have a son who lives in a beautiful fort. Okay, so these are mnemonic words. Sun is simple. Sun is quite far away. Okay, so she says, go and ask the sun. Like he will be in a position to help you. I'll just tell you this. Sun is the mnemonic keyword for this place. See right here, Hudson Bay. Sun in Hudson. Hudson. Sun in Hudson. Yes, good guess. Beautiful Fort was a keyword for Beaufort. Beaufort. Beautiful fort in Beaufort. Okay. So that ends the mnemonic for this first part. Now, you're asking the queen, okay, fine, ma'am. So once the person helps you, this is what you say, isn't it? First, you will say, thank you, madam. Thank you very much. After thanking her, you just say, I will ask. So what do you say, the queen? I'll ask him. So this is your dialogue. Fine. So use the word I'll ask. I'll ask will be the key word for this region. The region which is written as United States, isn't it? This place. This is known as Alaska. Is known as Alaska. Fine. I'll ask your son. I will ask him. I'll ask in Alaska. So that's the keywords for Alaska. If you're ready, I'll continue with the story. I will continue. Just let me know. I'll ask in Alaska. Okay, asking which is Alaska? This region called as United States. Fine. This one region alone is called Alaska. This is one state of United States. Fine. So now I'll proceed with the story again. You're right. You're fine. Okay. Got help from Queen. Jump. Okay, saying you're going and making noise everywhere. Where is the sun? Where is the sun? Where is the sun who lives in the beautiful fort? I want to see him because I want clue regarding X. They give us simple information. Today morning only sun died. Okay, they said sun is dead. If sun is dead means someone should be there. Okay, someone should be ruling this place. I need help. Definitely someone should help me out. They say, okay, fine. So who's ruling this place? They ask you and you ask them and they say, right now there is no human being ruling this place. We have a reindeer. Okay, they use the word reindeer. Okay, I think, see, the reindeer is nothing. A normal deer which is adapted to very cold conditions. Okay, reindeer is an animal. And you ask them, so, okay, fine, at least take me to the animal. Where is the animal? Where is the reindeer? I want to ask help. They say, okay, reindeer is actually riding BSA cycle. What do they say? Reindeer is riding BSA cycle. Cycle, pedal, okay. Pedal is there. Reindeer is there. Okay. This is deer. Horn, where is horn? So reindeer is riding BSA cycle. BSA cycle. You might be wondering there is no connection. Just hold on. Okay, so picture a reindeer, a normal deer riding a BSA cycle. This will never happen in reality. Is it fine? Because now we are going to look at water bodies. I will use this word BSA and connect it for you. BSA. Fine. BSA. Let me just zoom in. BSA. Is it clear? Are you able to read anything? Because I don't know. It's actually poor. On a green background, they have written in blue color since it's water body. Okay. So I'll just read it for you. For those of you which is not visible. See, you can see the word bear. Okay. BER. Lake Bear. Okay. This is the first lake. Second lake is slave. SLVE. BS. Lake Slave. And Lake A. If you read it, it's Athabasca. 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 Lake Bear, Lake Slave, Lake Athabasca. These are three major water bodies in North America, in Canada specifically. So that is why you had to know them. Is it fine? Now you go to the reindeer and you stop the reindeer. Hey, reindeer, stop. Stop riding cycle. Stop. 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 You ask the reindeer, shouldn't you be responsible? The prince has died and there is no one to take care of government. They say that you're the person who's supposed to rule this country. If you're the person who's supposed to rule this country, why are you not ruling the country? Why can't you go there? Fine. Reindeer gives an interesting response. Reindeer says, hey, relax, man. Relax. Fine. Why are you getting serious? See, understand one thing. All of us, okay, all of us are going to die. That is the most important truth. Fine. Once the reindeer speaks philosophy, it says, people will die, so on and so forth, you're asking, why are you speaking philosophically? And I'm really telling you something serious. All of us are going to die anyway. Okay. Why are you roaming here and there? You explain, I'm searching for a person, X nuclear codes. Fine. Reindeer completely bashes it off. It says, I don't care. I don't care. Fine. All of us are going to die. We have only one life. And we should enjoy. Okay. I don't care about country. I don't care about people. I don't care about anything. I have one life and I'm going to enjoy. Nearby, there is a bar. Okay. I'm going to walk into the bar and have a pig. Okay. If you want, you join me. Come, let's have a pig. So reindeer takes you to a bar, and inside the bar, you're having a pig. Might be wondering what the mnemonic is. Well, you find Lake Winnipeg here. Lake Winnipeg. Winnipeg. Lake Winnipeg. So you go with the reindeer, enter the bar. Even after entering the bar, you yourself are realizing this fallacy. Why am I searching nuclear codes? Why can't I simply drink and then settle down? Okay, you're drinking 1 round, 5 rounds, 7 rounds. You become totally unstable. Is it clear? So you're walking after drinking. You walk after drinking. There is a ditch. Okay, you fall inside. You fall inside, and you're shouting this word, help. See, if it is if the problem is going on in, for example, let's say it is happening in Tamil Nadu, Vijay will come, Ajit will come. Fine. If you're there in, maybe some other place, Salman Khan might come, Amir Khan might come, Shah Rukh Khan might come, Hrithik Roshan might come. You are in North America. Who will come and save you? Who's the hero there? Superhero? Avengers. Okay, let's come to DC Comics now. Avengers, someone from DC Comics. Trump, no, never Trump. Okay, fine. Superman, I got the words. Just hold on, let me just zoom out. Superman, I think most of you will know this keyword. They were taught you in geography class. Justin Bieber. Why man Justin Bieber? What did he do? Leave the small man alone. Okay, just hold on. Yeah. See, this is the region which we need to take into consideration. And we're going to enter the great lakes of North America. So let me just highlight the ones for you and let me tell you how the mnemonic works. So Superman, I'll write it. Superman helps every one. Is it clear? Superman helps everyone. SMHEO. Watch carefully. Superior. Okay, Lake Superior, number 1. Lake Michigan, number 2. Lake Huron, number 3. Lake Erie, number 4. And Lake Ontario, number 5. These are the 5 Great Lakes of North America. Very simple to remember. Superman helps everyone. Okay, so you fall inside the ditch. And once you've fallen inside, Superman flies and comes. Okay, and flies and comes and catches you. So you're safe. Exactly. So Superman helps everyone. I'll repeat again. S for superior. SUPERIOR. S for superior. M for Michigan. MICHIGAN. H for Huron. HURON. E for Erie. ERIE. And O for Ontario. ONTARIO. O for Ontario. Is it clear? So Superman helps you. He keeps you safe. Okay, just makes you sit down. He sits down. Why are you drinking, man? You shouldn't be drinking. He gives you advice also. Okay. Normal advice. He's superhero, no? So he'll give advice. After advising, you're telling Superman, leave all that. Okay, now I'm clear. See, I've been searching for a person known as the X-Man. Okay, I've been traveling for more than 2 continents right now. It's going to be 2.5 continents. Still have no idea regarding X. And I know that you have superpowers. You can fly faster. You can have X-ray vision. You can break things easily. You can travel extremely faster. So if you want to find X, you can find him in less than 1 minute, man. Please find X. Close this case. Fine. Now you expect Superman to help you, but that's what won't happen. Superman says, see, I can find X. It's very easy for me with all the superpowers. But I have a problem. He's saying, what problem? And what problem for you? You say, see, I will help people who follow the law. Okay. You are a secret agent. Secret agent work for government and they do bad things. Okay. In the name of secrets. I help people, only those who go by the law. And you're not a lawful person. You don't follow the law. So no help because there is no law. Law was the key word for this region. Saint Lawrence. Is it clear? This is Saint Lawrence. Saint Lawrence is a waterway. Waterway. Okay, where large number of ships move. Law in Saint Lawrence. Is it clear? Law in Saint Lawrence waterway. So are you ready? Now we need to find some person because Superman said he can't help and left. That's it. Superman flew away. Whoosh, that's it. It's done. Superman flew away saying he won't help you because you don't follow law. Law in Saint Lawrence waterway. So now we need to find a solution. So if Superman is not going to help you, whom should you ask help or what should you do right now? Just let me know. Next person. Superman doesn't help. So whom should we ask right now? Batman. Okay, now we're not going to do Batman. Mouth organ. Wonder Woman. See? Person came. I was expecting that. Wonder Woman. Now we do something else. We decide to suicide. Okay. We are like fed up. Okay, it's more like we see. It's similar to, I don't know. Some people might understand the reference. It has gone similar to a well missing case. You know, well missing case was by Mr. Vadivel. Okay, where it simply means ridiculous. You've been searching X for so long, and you decide, I'm going to die, man. You jump. Okay, jump. You decide to jump inside water. You fall inside. See, and whenever you fall inside water, you get a sound. Okay, what sound is stomach sound? What sound? Stomach. This sound will come. You might be thinking, sir, how does stomach sound come? That see, when I say, listen, when I say stomach sound, I'm not meaning stomach as such. You get this sound, tomk. You get it, tomk, tomk. That sound will be there, isn't it? So you just get that sound. Now, how do we link it for mnemonics? Very simple. That is necessary because you need to remember a few cities. T for this place, Toronto. Toronto, here, right here in Canada. T for Toronto. O for Ottawa. M for Montreal. And Q for Quebec. You get it? Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec. These are important cities in Canada. That's why initially. So Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec. Is it clear? So 4 cities. So if you're ready, I just need to zoom out. So let me know if you're finished. Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec. Okay, so multiple responses. I'll just zoom out in a second. Just hold on. Just take this off. Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec. Okay, so now we're actually you're expecting yourself to die. Let me die. What is the point of living? Why life? I'm going to die. Fine. When you're about to die, something interesting happens. There is someone to save you. Fine. You would expect, what is going to save me? Well, there is someone to save you. Okay. You ask me what? Just hold on. I'll just draw the diagram. So some animal is there and that animal lifts you up. Okay. Very big animal. That animal lifts you up and then you're safe. You ask what it is. Well, it is Labrador dog. What is it? Well, Labrador dog. You know, Labrador dog. Labrador Sea is right here. So you just jump into it. The Labrador dog comes and saves you. Okay. Labrador in Labrador Sea. Is it clear? Labrador in Labrador Sea. Tail is not right. Tail. Labrador Sea. The Labrador dog saves you. See, this visualization should be very. Imagine a Labrador dog as big as the size of your room. Okay. So wherever you are, whatever room you're in, a dog which is that big, the dog comes and saves you from water, and that places you. Okay, places you on land. So you're sitting here and dog saves you. Dog speaks in human voice. Why are you doing this? Life is precious thing. You can't throw it away. Fine. Dog also gives advice. So this is an advice day for you. Superman gave advice. Dog gives you advice. You're like, fine, dog. It was my mistake. I should not have done this. Okay. So we just pause right now. Just pause here. So dog saves you. You're back. You're alive. You're sitting here. Is it clear? So if you're ready, let's go for description. Just let me know. Okay. Here's one, multiple responses. Just hold on. Let me just share whiteboard. Now I think you'll get your questions. There were several questions which was posed during the discussion itself. There's one more question. Difference between bay, strait, and sea. Okay, we'll deal at the end of the session. So now I will. Okay, the relation with reindeer mnemonic also I'll get you. Okay, I'll let you know. Why did we use this word reindeer? Now let's start from now. So many questions that comes in. And what do you mean by Nordic countries and who are these people? Now allow me to explain. This is the right time. See. You take the regions of Norway, Sweden, Iceland. This is where Greenland is. Greenland is quite far, not very far, but yes, quite far away. Okay, we'll have a small revision of the story. No problem. We'll definitely have at the end. No issues. Let me just finish description. See, in this region, the regions of Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Iceland, a conqueror clan lived. These are very big conquerors, and they are called as Vikings. And I want to make sure that you get a proper parallel between Vikings. I'll talk about an Indian kingdom, which you can easily relate to. I think many would know about Cholas, right? See, Cholas were South Indian conquerors who went as far as Southeast Asia, Malaysia and stuff. Okay, like they're very famous for naval warfare. And they conquered these regions approximately around 1000 AD. You will learn this in detail in medieval India. Now, why am I drawing parallel to Cholas? Well, when Cholas were exploiting, places like Malaysia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, in the Indian Ocean, in the North Sea and Norwegian Sea, the Vikings began to explore the lands which are very, very far away. They were great conquerors. They tried to occupy as much land as possible. Okay, so all the regions where Vikings lived are the regions which are known as Nordic countries. Is that clear? So many questions were there. What do you mean by Nordic countries? The areas which were under the Vikings rule. Now I'll talk about Greenland. Okay, so if this is Greenland, Vikings came and landed on Greenland. Fine. And after landing on Greenland, initially they were really happy. Fine. They were happy because primarily they discovered new land. They discovered a completely new island, and they thought that the island will be helpful for them for further expansion. But they encountered a big problem. Can anyone tell me what problem the Vikings would have faced in Greenland? Fundamental problem. Basic issues there. Yes, very good. Climate, right word. See, understand, Greenland is very, very further now. Like large portion of Greenland will be in part of Arctic Circle, where it is extremely cold. Okay, if you want to do agriculture, for example, good that many people send that message also. You want to do agriculture, sunlight is paramount, and you want really good temperature. Okay, fine. If you can't do agriculture, next you'll be trying to rely on fishing also. Fine, but fishing becomes difficult in the winter season. Because winter season, large parts of Greenland are completely covered by ice. And once you're covered by ice, it's difficult for boats to move in water, and it's difficult for finding things like whales, dolphins, so on and so forth. So survival on Greenland was a very big challenge. You get the idea? Because climate was extremely colder, agriculture was difficult, fishing was difficult. So what did the Vikings do? Well, even though Vikings explored the island, large number of Vikings returned back to their original homeland. Is that clear? Some Vikings alone began to stay in Greenland itself. Okay. And that is how Greenland began to get proper cities. See, understand, due to the importance of Vikings, there was development of cities. But before that, did humans exist on island? Yes, humans were there. But humans were mostly hunters and gatherers. Like you'd have heard of these Eskimos, isn't it? Eskimos, the people who live in very cold climate conditions. So those people were there. But you never had cities in Greenland. So proper cities in Greenland was a result of Viking invasion. That is why you need to understand Vikings. They are the ones who established cities. So if you're ready, now we'll talk about the relationship with Denmark. Okay, so just let me know. This is the idea you need to get with reference to Greenland. Okay, so some Vikings who stayed back in Greenland started their city. So only you have a very small population. Most of it is covered by ice. It's quite harsh climate. Now we'll come and relate to you with Denmark. Okay, see, hold on. Let me just share the map. So where is my world map? Go here. Yeah. Okay, so this is the region we talked about, isn't it? And I told you, people went from here and then they came back. Most of them came back. Okay, so you take Denmark here. Denmark, even though people returned, fine. Denmark controlled certain parts of Greenland alone. When I say control, understand this. Greenland is mostly autonomous. They have their own administration. They have their own government. They have their own administration. But for selective aspects, they depend on Greenland. For example, for defense. Okay, issues of security, national agreements. So for this international relations aspect and for defense, Greenland still is under the control of Denmark. That is why you have the words Denmark written over Greenland. So Greenland is part of Denmark territory. Is it clear? I think you get the difference. It is mostly autonomous. Fine. Mostly all their internal administration, they take care of themselves. They do it on their own. But for certain aspects by defense, national security and international agreements, they are controlled by Denmark. Is it clear? I'd rather not give you parallels. You know, there are, messages which are sent like, is it similar to relation between Hong Kong and China? Is it like Bhutan to India? No, Bhutan is a separate country. Okay, like Bhutan is a country in itself. It has representations in international relations. You have a separate Bhutan representative. But for Greenland as such, you don't have a separate representative. Is it clear? Like Bhutan will still be represented in the international stage. I mean, Greenland will still be represented in international stage by Denmark. Is it clear? Just understand it's a very powerful state. So Denmark, let's say Denmark has 2 to 3 states. Greenland is one of the important places which is under Denmark. Okay, so international things, it's still handled by Denmark. Few powers. Yeah, that's a better word. One person has said Greenland is a dominion of Denmark. Dominion is a definitely better word. Dominion is, most of the administrative aspects the country has, and some things, Greenland takes it. Is it clear? Now, I need to talk about why we are spending some time in Greenland because of this great individual. I think most of you knew the news. See, Trump visited Greenland. He just went there. He liked Greenland and he sent a message to Denmark. He said, Greenland is very nice island. I will pay money. You give Greenland. Is it clear? See, the point I wanted to convey is it is like this. Trump is there. Trump comes to Kerala. Okay. He comes to Kerala. He says, oh, Kerala is very beautiful. Okay. Contacts our prime minister, says, you do one thing. I will give you money. Okay. Kerala alone, you give back to United States. You get the idea. So that is what Trump literally tried to do when it came to Greenland, and Denmark thrashed him like anything. They said this is not how international relations is done. This land has been part of our government for so long. We can't give this island to you. So it became international controversy. But Trump, you need to appreciate. He speaks his mind. Whatever comes in his mind, he just speaks. He doesn't care about whether it's politically correct, incorrect. It doesn't mind. Okay, so that's the issue which happened 2 years back. So that's why I just wanted to clarify. There's a question. Vikings came from Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Yes, Vikings came from all these three places. Okay, so if you're ready, I'll go to the next set of places. Fine, shall I? I'll go to the USA map. So you're ready? Let me know. Okay, fine. Just hold on. Trump kind of redefined. See, I may not agree with the policies of Trump, but Trump has definitely done a lot of things which require studies, to completely redefine politics. So we were with Denmark, and I introduced two places. I introduced Baffin Island, and I introduced Queen Elizabeth Islands. Then we saw Hudson Bay, and then we saw Beaufort Sea. See, all the four places were introduced because it will be taken up in geography class, by including Labrador Sea. When we discuss ocean currents, and when we discuss when we discuss temperature, climate variations, latitude variations, international trade. So along the time, I can, at that time they will talk about Baffin Island, Hudson Bay, and Labrador Sea and Beaufort Sea. All these four places are strategically important. That is why you should know. Right now, I'm not going to describe. You need to wait for geography class. The place I'm most concerned about, which is required for discussion, is this place, what we call this Alaska. Okay, St. Lawrence Waterway will come back. It's the discussion about Alaska, which I'm concerned. For appreciating Alaska, one person already has sent a message here. Sir, I find Russia above USA map. We need to go back to the world map. We have an interesting story in hand. Fine. Right. See, most people, when they look at the world map, they forget that it is actually a globe. Oh, globe. Hold on. So it's a sphere. So once you keep traveling, you'll return back to the original position, isn't it? So yes, one person has texted. So I want you to understand. See, let me just zoom in and then again zoom out. Right there, I think now you should be in a position to read. This is Russia. This entire area. This is Russia. I keep on extending the point. You see how far it goes. You get it? So Russian Empire began to expand towards eastward. They started westward. After starting westward, they began to expand eastward. So 17th, 16th century, 17th century, 18th century, they kept on moving eastward. You know what they did? They crossed over this area, people. They crossed over this area and controlled this land. Okay. This was called as Alaska. When did this happen? 1780. Get it? So 1780, Russians expand east. And after expanding east, they capture this area called as Alaska. Okay. They captured the area. After capturing, they understood there is a problem. Now you tell me what problem would have come to Russians after capturing Alaska? Snow, ice. Now I'll tell you this. See, Russians have seen more cold climatic conditions. Is it fine? They know more snow. You take Siberia, this region. Siberia is extremely cold. Yes, now one person has said the word communication. Correct. See, it was not about the cold climatic conditions. It was about distance. See, Moscow, St. Petersburg is mostly in the western part of Russia. So this is where most of Russia's administration is in. And Alaska was very, very far away. Even though Russians captured the land, they had difficulty in administration. Because people were simply not ready to go there. I'll give a simple example. For example, every one of you will need to give your UPSC state preference list. They will ask you for mains application exam. In your detailed application form, they will ask you preference for state for your IAS and IPS. So for example, you take me, mine is Tamil Nadu first. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, it goes on. Why do I give Tamil Nadu? Because it is my home state, simple. Is it clear? So if you're from Uttar Pradesh will be your number one option. It's your home state. See, we always try to, prefer your home state because the language is easy. The area, at least you would have lived in the place for more than 25 years. So you know the language, you know the area, know the people. It is easy for you to administer. So that's why most candidates will prefer the home state. Some might have different, but most will prefer home. So problem was similar to how we have it in UPSC. People in Russia did not want to go to Alaska. They said, simply because you set a government here, we can't go. Okay, we can't go and administer. Russians saw 30 years they waited, 40 years they waited, but still there was not much of, they were holding on to the land, but people were not really ready to go there. So Russians were thinking, what is the point of having this place? We will better sell off this land. Fine. So this idea was there with Russia. Okay. And we fast forward. So from 1780, we moved to 1860s, specifically 1867. Exactly. So we moved to 1867. So in 1867, now we look at from United States perspective. Okay, USA is here. Hold on, let me just draw this area properly. So from 1780, we moved to 1867. USA is here, people. This is USA. Only this much is USA right now. This is Russia, this one. So Russia and USA sat for a deal. Russians said, USA, why don't you take this land? Nice land for purchase. Fine. USA said, why should we take it? Why should we do it? See, back then, understand, 1867, USA is not a major power. You get it? It is not a major power at all. Okay, there is a question, why didn't Canada take it? See, Canada has a different history. It's not an aggressive country at all. But you take USA, USA was a very aggressive country. Trying to expand, but not, see, there is a difference. A country can be aggressive, but still not a major power. You want today's example, you take Pakistan. Pakistan is not a major power, but Pakistan is an aggressive country, tries to disturb international relations. You get it? But similar to that, USA is not a major power. Back then, Russia was an important power which had fight with the United Kingdom. We were dealing now. People were saying, sir, UK didn't understand. So Russia and United Kingdom were having some sort of problem. So Russia said, see, we don't have very good relations. Instead of selling to United Kingdom, we just take him off. I don't want this person. I'm ready to sell it to you. USA said, fine, man. I agree to the deal under one condition. Okay. Indian mindset, no? Cheap. They said, give the land for a cheap price, man. I will take Alaska, but look at my position. See, I am here. This is my area. And you are asking me to go to a very, very cold climate. I don't have any experience in cold climate. If I move to a cold climatic region, I will be the person who suffer. Cold climate. So I will take this land if you sell to a cheap price, else I'm walking away from the deal. Russia was like, wait. What is your problem? Wait. Okay, what do you want? Cheap price only, I will sell. So 1867, Russians sold the land to United States. So what was Russia becomes USA. Story is not over. Hold on. Twist is there. Without twist, no story. So this became USA. Okay. So USA went here. Okay. After going, they struggled really hard. Really hard they struggled. Because the climate was totally different. People of United States, they are, even though there are certain parts which is cold, Alaska is very, very cold. Fine. Many soldiers died. Many people died. USA struggled. But surprisingly, they discovered something. One person has sent a message. What they discovered? They discovered two important things, people. First is gold. Second is oil. Okay. And Russians got face palm. Face palm? Okay. If Russians knew that this region or so, Alaska had gold, Alaska had oil, they would never have sold it to USA in the first place. Okay. Today, Russians and USA are bitter rivals. Think about Russia having Alaska. Entire geopolitics will be different, people. Entire politics will be different. Fine. But anyway, this was an if condition. I'll tell you what happened. After people discovered gold, right? Gold in Alaska, large number of United States people started going there because there was a huge gold rush. Fine. So gold was mined from Alaska and Alaska became very rich. Okay. And I want you to understand this. In today's world, today, gold in Alaska has depleted because they were exploiting for so long. They've been taking gold for so long. So gold reserves have depleted, but oil reserves still there. So if anyone asks you, does USA have oil? USA have good oil reserves. They have so much of crude oil, large amount of crude oil, especially in the province of Alaska. Is it clear? You should tell me, if USA has oil, why is it going and talking with Saudi Arabia, making problem with Iran, so on and so forth? Fine, USA has oil. They have been having oil for the last 150 years. Distance. Yes, future. Very, very good. Good. Let me just go to whiteboard if you're ready. I'll tell the reason. To be sold ready. I think most of you got it. Fine, let me just go to the whiteboard. Hold on. Yes, conservation. Very good. See, point is, if you're a superpower, you think like a superpower. See, currently oil will be there. Okay. But oil is an exhaustible resource. So what US does is, you take the Middle Eastern nations, United States of America plans to exhaust the oil resources in the Middle East for some time. If I can exhaust the resources, let's say 100 years down the line, USA will have large amount of oil in Alaska. Okay. That time they will open oil. That time they'll open. Okay. Then for one barrel, they will determine price. One person texted that exact word. Okay. They will become an oil monopoly in future. This is future plan. This is a 100 years plan. You get it? India. See, this is the difference between how a superpower thinks. Okay, that's the difference between a superpower and an aspiring power. We are still aspiring. We don't have long-term vision, but we will. In future, we should have long-term vision. So this is the reason Alaska is still not exploited. So that's the story of Alaska. I'll repeat the last section again. US wants to reduce the oil resources here. It's a simple question of supply and demand. Okay, so oil is there in US, oil is there in Saudi Arabia. If oil is down here, let's say they're not able to supply more. If only I have oil, I will determine pricing and I will become even more rich. So they're trying to form a monopoly in future. Let's hope that oil doesn't become very important in future. Let's hope that we go to other forms of energy, other forms of renewable energy and stuff. Okay, so that ends the discussion for Alaska. If you're ready, I'll go back to Canada. I think we got approximately 10 minutes. So I think if I finish certain parts and if I recollect the mnemonics, I think it should be over. Just let me know and let's go to Canada. Okay. The quality of oil in Alaska is good. They still haven't exploited because, they're just trying to save the resources for the future. Let me just share North America. Hold on. Right. Fine. So finished Alaska. And I think we've introduced all those great lakes. Now I'll come to reindeer. Someone asked me, sir, why did we have reindeer? South of Athabasca, you have one more lake here that is not there in the map. Reindeer is again a lake. Okay. It is near Athabasca. That is why I had introduced this, surprisingly not in this map. But I think you take any atlas, reindeer should be there. Okay, reindeer is a lake near Athabasca. Now I'd like to talk about Athabasca. Athabasca is known for oil sands. Immediately you'll ask me a question. Now, what are oil sands? Well, oil sand is an unconventional fossil fuel. Unconventional fossil fuel. Okay, very simple. Fossil fuel means you're deriving from dead and decayed organisms. That is the meaning of fossil fuel. Now, what do you mean by convention versus unconvention? Convention is something which is usually done. For example, oil is a conventional fossil fuel. Coal is a conventional fossil fuel. Unconventional fossil fuel, which means it is not used normally or not used in large numbers. That is the meaning of unconventional fossil fuel. Okay, so this region near around Athabasca, there is large amount of oil sands, which will be the fuel for future needs, not right now. Today it is not, production value is not very high, but for future needs, this is extremely useful. This is a heavy oil, thick oil sand. It's very, very thick oil components. So in future, Canada also has resources, and that is near the Lake Athabasca. Okay. So going to the next point, we saw the 5 Great Lakes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So in these 5 Great Lakes, the second lake which we saw, Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan. I just want you to know, Lake Michigan alone is completely with the USA. Fine. The other 4 lakes are shared between USA and Canada. I'll repeat it again. There are totally 5 Great Lakes in the United States. Of the 5 Great Lakes, lake number 2 from the west, Lake Michigan, Superman, M for man, Michigan. Fine. Michigan is completely with USA. The remaining 4 lakes, 1, 3, 4, and 5, these lakes are shared between United States and Canada. Shared between USA and Canada. Okay, so we just have one single word. So with that, we can close, and then I'll address 2 doubts which are consistently popping up. And we'll do the mnemonics part, and then we'll close the session. So one last point for today. These are freshwater lakes. All are freshwater lakes. So the question was, are they freshwater? Yes, these are freshwater lakes. Just let me know one point, and then I can go back to mnemonics. We'll close the area. So Athabasca, unconventional fossil fuel. Okay, multiple responses. So I'll go to this section, St. Lawrence. See, I'll just let you know. So one person wants to know how is St. Lawrence part of mnemonics. It's simple. Okay, where is Niagara? Okay, Niagara Falls is here, man. We saw a Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, isn't it? So between Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, Niagara Falls is there. Niagara. It's not there in the map, but this is where the Niagara Falls is. Famous place. They just mentioned that's all. Okay. So one person just asked her which river? Okay. River I don't exactly remember which exact river, but no, I don't recollect. If I recollect, it should have popped up by then. I really don't remember. I can look back and tell you. No problem at all. Okay, so let me just finish with the last part. St. Lawrence Waterway. See, I introduced the St. Lawrence Waterway and all the 4 cities because this is an important, or let's just say, I'll just put it here, busiest waterway. Very, very busy. A large number of ships move in and out. Busiest waterway in North America. In North America. So the lakes are connected along this region. So you see a slight blue line. So the commodities are taken in, and the lakes are connected also. So, commodities are taken here, they just move, and they travel to Europe. So that is the region. St. Lawrence Waterway is important. Now, how did we connect it with Superman? To answer that question, well, Superman said, I cannot help as you do not obey law. So law was in relationship with St. Lawrence Waterway. Okay. So that ends the description part for today's section. I'll address the last question. There was one question: what is a strait and what is a bay? What is a sea? What is an ocean? So if you're ready, I'll go to the whiteboard. I'll close the class with that. Okay, just let me know. Fine. So last question for today. right? See, strait is simple. Strait is a small water body. Okay, Tomak will come back tomorrow, man. Like with reference to USA, I can talk about population. Chorana Ottawa, just hold on. We'll take it up tomorrow. You don't have what map reading class. Then next map reading class, small water body connecting two large water bodies. That's it. That's a strait. Okay. So for example, let's say take India. Then you have Sri Lanka. People use the word Park Strait, right? Park Strait. So strait is a small water body. One side you have Bay of Bengal, and one side you travel south, you'll find the Indian Ocean. So two large water bodies and then small water bodies. You get it? So that's a strait. Now coming to bay or gulf. See, peninsula, see, simple. I'll just draw the reference with peninsula. When you talk about a peninsula, peninsula is a land area which is covered by water on three sides. This most of you know, India is a peninsula. When you talk about a gulf or a bay, sorry, hold on. If this is the region, you're talking about a water body which is enclosed by land. This is called as bay or gulf. Okay, just the reverse. Peninsula is land covered by water on three sides. Bay or gulf is a water body which is mostly enclosed by land. Fine. And coming to the last question. Sea, oceans are classified simply based on depth. That's it. Seas are more shallow. Oceans are very deep. That is how they classified. Is it clear? Fine. Just hold on. Someone. Okay. Yes, sea is part of the ocean. Exactly. And ocean will be, see, ocean is a very large area. It will be, see, a deep region. If you see, this is my entire sea. Near the land, near the land, I'll be having small seas. So these will be seas. Once you move away from the land, the larger water body is called as an ocean. Okay, what is an inland waterway? Inland waterway is something which transports goods within land. So if I'm using Kaveri, for example, Kaveri river is there, and within Kaveri you're transporting goods, is an inland waterway. That's it. Fine. Bay means water body enclosed by land on three sides. Three or mostly covered by. I just wanted to compare with peninsula so that you remember. You can use the word three sides. It's safe, no issues at all. And some will ask, what is the difference between bay and gulf? See, it's simply based on size. At times, they are used interchangeably also. For example, they use the word Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal is very, very larger. But sometimes they use the word bay for even smaller places. Interchangeable. I'll repeat this ocean and sea again. Last, as a last point. Oceans are very deeper. Seas are very shallow. A large ocean will have many seas. Okay, so closer to land, if this is going to be my land, I'm very close to land, water will be shallow. So you'll find seas close to land. You move away from the land, it's oceans because it is very, very deep. These are shallow bodies. Okay, so you've run out of time. So want me to St. Lawrence and Labrador Sea. You jump, Labrador dog saves you. Okay, Labrador dog comes and saves you. So that is why we have Labrador and Labrador Sea. So that ends the session for today. Unlucky that we are not going to sea until continental zone. Yes, it's sea is very close to continental zone. Okay, so there was map reading, like we planned to finish USA today, but it was not possible. And this week I don't think we have sessions, but next class we come back, we are definitely dealing and finishing with USA and possibly North America also. So that ends the discussion for today's session. So thank you, and please have doubts, send in email. Okay, so if others are there, please send an email. Like there was not enough time for us to repeat the mnemonics. That's why I'm closing, because some might be having other sessions also. Okay, so any further doubts, do send me an email. I'll respond ASAP. Thank you so much.